Out here at nearly the lowest of the low tide slot. I have one pot dropped over here, and I have my oldest pot laid out, I don't know, maybe 30-40 yards from it. We are now waiting for an hour. I'll post some more footage of exactly where the tide's at the moment, and then I'll get it again when we pull these things in. You can see by the red line, we are currently setting at a negative 2.3 feet, and the time is 10:34. So at 11:45, which will be about straight up the low point of the tide at negative 3.2 feet, we will be pulling these pots, or starting slightly before, but working on getting them in. Now we sit back and wait, see how it goes. We've had the pots down for about an hour now, and we are about 13-14 minutes out from being at the peak of the low tide. If you can see here, we are going to go pull the pots, see how they did on what was still the outgoing tide down to low tide. After we check them, we'll get them back out, let them set until we start getting the tide coming back up a bit, and see how they do on the incoming tide. Another thing, guessing this spot's not too great, we're gonna pull the other pot, see what we got in it, and we'll move to a different spot. Look at this. That's a pretty good haul. So we will start checking them out for size, see what keep and what goes back. And our first male on the scale here, it's probably a solid 6.5 inches. So there's one keeper for the day. The pot did quite well, but apparently the pot was having ladies' night for a day with the one male. Anyway, that's one towards the limit. We will maybe move positions up here a bit, throw them back down, and try again after an hour. Okay, we've just pulled our pots. One of the pots did very well, other than the fact that all but one of the 8 crab were female and had to be thrown back. At this point, the tide is just starting, so we're going to go ahead and throw both these pots out again, see what happens here over the next hour on the incoming tide. Check this out. You got some fairly decent sized crab, if they are not all female. Let's see what we pulled in. And one of these, I can tell you right now, absolutely looks huge. Let's just start with the big guy here. We got one big male. And if you look, he is bigger than the gauge. That is over 7 inches. Let's grab the second largest here. Also a male. And this guy is probably going to be, looks like right at 6 1/4. We have pulled 2 more keepers. I'm gonna probably throw this pot right back down here where we're at until we see if we've hit our limit yet or not. And this is on the incoming tide. So let's chuck this one back over. We go grab the SMI pot, see how it did. Second time today, not a single crab. So we'll go ahead and chuck this one back in for now. We'll give them another hour, come back again, see what we have. So we just pulled those pots in with a couple more sizable male keepers. One over the largest mark on the gauge. And you can see that was between bottom of the low tide and where we crossed over into the oncoming high tide, which is currently at 1.3 foot at 2:30 p.m. We just dropped the pots back down again, pretty much the same location. We're gonna go fish some more, see what happens as this tide comes in. Here we go, what will probably be the last pot pull of the day, depending on the outcome. It is 3:34 p.m. Well, here we go. On the final pull of the day, appears to have brought us in some pretty good sized males. So we will pull them in, start measuring them up, getting them in the cooler and starting the cull. Alright, here's a big male. And he is over 7 inches. He's right at 7. Alright. One's a little smaller, at about 6.5. And just shy of 7 inches. The test for the day, does the tide direction matter? Well, I won't say for certain it does, but if you look, we're now on the incoming tide, and up until this point we caught one crab that was a keeper. Up until around here we caught 2 more that were keepers. And then when we got around here and started pulling in the pots, it was time to start thinning the herd because we were over limit. Maybe the incoming tide does matter. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts on it. If you've been doing this crabbing thing for a lot longer than I have, which is about 3 years, drop some advice for everyone that's out here in the Puget Sound area. It'd be much appreciated. Until next time, please hit the subscribe button down there. Like the video, really helps out the channel. We'll be out again soon. Thank you all. Bye.